Let me ask you something. If you work hard, show up every day, and do everything you're supposed to do you actually end up ahead? Because I used to think the answer was yes. I really did. And the older I get, the more I realize that a lot of us were sold an idea that doesn't quite hold up anymore. This video is about that idea, and what I'm doing about it. So far, I've done everything I was ever told to do. I spent years in school, I studied something that actually had job prospects, I got certified multiple times, I put in the work, learned the skills, and eventually landed what most people would call a great job: cloud engineering, or DevOps engineering. Good salary, good title, the kind of role that makes your parents proud at family dinners. And on paper, it looks great. But the longer I've been in it, the more I've started to question something nobody really talks about in the early stages of your career. Not your professors, not your managers, not the job offer letter. The question is simple: is this actually enough? Because the industry I work in, tech, has had wave after wave of mass layoffs over the past few years. People who did everything right, people who were skilled, experienced, loyal, gone. Not because they failed at their jobs, but because a spreadsheet somewhere decided they were a cost to be cut. And the ones who kept their jobs, we just worked harder, kept our heads down, hoped we wouldn't be next. There's nothing stable about that. We just call it stable because the alternative is too uncomfortable to sit with. Here's the part that really started to get to me. Think about your parents' generation for a second. A lot of them bought homes on a single income, one job, one salary, and it was enough to own a place, raise a family, and actually build something over time. Now look at today. Most people I know, hardworking, educated, doing everything right, are still renting well into their 30s. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they're spending money on things they shouldn't, but because the cost of actually owning a life has gone up so much faster than what any regular job pays. And I felt that personally. I'm a tech worker. By most standards, I earn a decent salary. I'm not complaining about what I make, but I got married recently, and the moment that happened, the moment I started thinking seriously about a home, a family, a future that felt real and solid, I looked at what that actually costs and felt something I didn't expect: worry. Not panic, just a quiet, steady worry that if I stay on this exact path doing exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to be working for a very long time just to reach the starting line that previous generations got to in their 20s. A salary has a ceiling, and everything else just keeps going up. I couldn't trust the system to sort that out for me anymore. I had to actually decide what I was going to do about it. At the same time all of this is happening, the layoffs, the housing market, the math that doesn't quite add up, we're all sitting on our phones watching people our age make millions. Young creators, young founders, people who turned a YouTube channel or a simple software product into life-changing income before 30. And I'll be honest, that messed with my head for a long time. Not in a jealous way, more in a confusing way. Because it made the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be feel both massive and somehow closable at the same time. Like it's possible, people are doing it, so why not me? But that thinking is a trap, because what we see is the highlight, the launch, the viral moment, the revenue screenshot. We don't see the 5 years before that, the failed attempts, the projects that went nowhere, the nights they almost quit. The internet has given our generation a completely warped timeline for what success is supposed to look like and how fast it's supposed to arrive. And when reality doesn't match that, when you're months into something and it's not working, it's very easy to decide you're just not built for it. I decided that more times than I'd like to admit. Because I've been trying things on the side for years now. This channel, I actually started it right before COVID hit. I had the idea, I had the energy, I recorded 2 videos, I uploaded them, and then I stopped. Life got loud, work got heavy, the motivation ran out, and the channel just sat there. I also got serious about building other skills outside of my day job, studying, grinding certifications on top of certifications, trying to get into the stock market, trying to learn how stocks work, trying to position myself for something bigger. But the moment the workload at work spiked, and it always spikes, the studying was the first thing to go. I've had streaks and I've had droughts. I've started and stopped so many times that for a while I genuinely started to wonder whether the problem was me, whether I just wasn't the kind of person who could pull this off. And I think a lot of people reach that point and just accept it. Decide that the 9 to 5 is just their life now. That the side hustle dream is for other people. That they should be grateful for what they have and stop chasing something more. I almost went there, but it just never sat right with me. So here's what I've learned from all of it though, and this is the part I wish I'd understood earlier. Working hard is not the same as working smarter. For a long time, every time something wasn't working, my answer was to just do more of it. More hours, more effort, more grinding, more studying. Like if I just pushed hard enough, eventually it would break through. But hard work doesn't fix a bad approach. It just exhausts you faster. The things that have started to actually move for me, really, I'm not standing here telling you I figured it all out, happened when I stopped repeating the same motion and started actually studying why things weren't working. Reading, asking better questions, changing the method, not just the intensity. That shift is simple to describe and genuinely hard to do. Because when you're tired from a full day of work and nothing is gaining traction, the temptation is to either push blindly harder or give up entirely. The real answer is actually neither. It's to pause, look at what's actually happening, and adjust. I want to be clear about something, because I'm not here to tell you to quit your job and bet everything on a dream. That's not wisdom, that's just recklessness with an inspiring caption on it. The 9 to 5, for all its limitations, gives you something that's genuinely valuable. A guaranteed income while you build. Every month, money comes in. Bills get paid. You don't have to make your side project work right now to survive. That is a real advantage. Use it. The goal isn't to hate where you are. The goal is to stop treating where you are as a final destination. Because there's a huge difference between I'm here because I have no other choice and I'm here while I quietly build the choice to leave. That second version changes how you show up. It changes your relationship with the frustrations, the ceiling, the moments where the system reminds you that you're replaceable. When you're building something of your own on the side, even slowly, even messily, you're not just a cog anymore. You're someone with a plan. So here's the honest version of where I am. I'm still employed, I show up, I do good work, I'm not checked out, but I'm also building. This channel is part of that. Not because I think it's going to change my life next month, because it won't, but because I understand now that the skills you build, the content you put out, the audience you grow, the things you create, they compound. Quietly, slowly, in the background, they compound. My career in cloud and infrastructure has given me skills that are genuinely valuable outside of a single employer. And I'm starting to think that seriously about what it looks like to use those skills for myself. Consulting, building tools, creating things that generate value beyond the hours I trade for them. I don't have a success story to sell you yet. I'm in the middle of it, but I'm no longer waiting for the system to reward me on its own timeline. I stopped believing that if I just keep being a good employee, everything will work out. It might, but I'm not betting my family's future on it. The 9 to 5 isn't evil, it's just limited, and it was built for a world that's changing faster than the advice we inherited from it. If you've ever looked at your paycheck and your rent and your goals and thought something about this doesn't add up, you're not being ungrateful, you're being honest. And honesty is where everything actually starts. Not the vision board version, not the overnight success version, the real version, where you have a job you still need, a life you're trying to build, and not nearly enough hours in the day. That version is where most of us actually are. And the answer isn't to blow it all up, the answer is to start. Quietly, on the side, with whatever time you have. Start badly if you have to. Start small if you have to. Start tired, uncertain, without a clue or of how it's going to end. Because the only people who eventually get out are the ones who refuse to stop trying. I'm still trying. And if you're watching this, I hope you probably are too. So good. Keep going. That was our conversation topic for today. Stay tuned for more. If you enjoyed, like the video and subscribe. We'll chat again soon. Peace.